Hello and welcome back to Football Daily, and with the transfer window opening today, we've decided to analyse 10 transfers your club needs. And if you're a massive fan of FD, make sure you've hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you're notified on every single one of FD's videos, which is daily. Duh, Football Daily, it makes sense. 10. Giovani Simeone. Despite finishing 8th, higher than in 2 of the last 4 campaigns, Everton's season has been a massive disappointment. They spent over £200 million last summer, more than in the previous 4 seasons combined, and expected instant results. But after failing to replace Lukaku, they only scored 44 league goals and finished with a -14 goal difference, their lowest tally since the 2005-06 season when they finished 11th. With Allardyce having been sacked and their top goal scorer Wayne Rooney almost certainly leaving, the new manager's priority should be recruiting a frontman. Our suggestion is 22-year-old Fiorentina striker Giovani Simeone, son of Atleti manager Diego. Having transferred from Genoa last summer, Simeone has scored 13 goals and assisted 4, finishing as the Viola's top scorer. Something of a penalty box specialist, all 10 of his league goals have come from inside the box. He fires off an impressive 3.3 shots per 90, more than Lukaku's 2.7, and also creates 1.1 chances a game for his teammates, the same as Harry Kane. In a side that has struggled for both creativity and a focal point this campaign, Simeone would be a perfect acquisition. 9. Wilfried Zaha. It's no coincidence that Leicester's disastrous end-of-season form, which saw them lose 5 of their final 7 games, coincided with Wilfried Zaha's hamstring injury. The 22-year-old has been an ever-present in the Foxes team this season, making 33 appearances, the 4th most in the squad. Putting up an incredible 4.7 tackles and interceptions per game, the same as Kante, Zaha has also shown his competence going forward, firing off 1.3 shots per 90 and completing 77% of his take-ons. In our mind, Lazio, currently 4th in Serie A and set to qualify for the Champions League for just the 3rd time in 11 seasons, seems like a pretty good fit. Barring a Europa League exit at the hands of Red Bull Salzburg, the Bianco Celesti are unbeaten since the 3rd of March, and numerous members of Inzaghi's side have caught the eye. There will almost certainly be interest in midfield gems Felipe Anderson and Milinkovic-Savic, and with Lucas and Marco Parolo 31 and 33 respectively, and having made a combined 92 appearances this season, signing a young ready-made replacement like Ndidi would be smart business. 8. Dayot Upamecano. As sad as Wenger's departure is, he has left the club in 6th, the lowest finish in 22 years with 63 points, their lowest since 1996, having conceded 51 goals, the most for 34 years. The new manager's priority should undoubtedly be signing a new goalkeeper, and with Koscielny now 32, some long-term quality additions to marshal the defence. RB Leipzig have been disappointing, having been knocked out of the Europa League at the quarter-final stage and struggling in the league, currently 14 points behind the 16-17 tally. One bright spot though has been 19-year-old centre-back Dayot Upamecano, who is both defensively sound and competent on the ball. His pass completion this season is at 84%, and he isn't afraid to try things either, with 81% of his passes going forward. His 4.6 tackles and interceptions per 90 is nothing short of exceptional, putting Sergio Ramos's 3.1 in the shade. With Naby Keita leaving this summer, Hassan Hutel won't want to contemplate another departure, but there will no doubt be interest in Upamecano. 7. Nabil Fekir. 24-year-old Nabil Fekir has had a quite simply outstanding season, with 21 goals and 6 assists in 39 games. Although comfortable on the right wing, Fekir's best position, where he played 86% of his games this season, is at the number 10 role. Fekir is both incredibly creative, laying on 2.2 chances per 90 for his teammates, but also prepared to have a go, shooting 3.3 times a game with 48% of his efforts from outside the box. Chelsea's inability to adequately replace Matic has forced Conte to play an extra body in midfield this season. The person that has suffered the most is 30-year-old Pedro, who has played 703 fewer league minutes as a result. And with Mourinho a long-time admirer of Willian, and Morata linked with a move back to Juventus, Chelsea, who finished 30 points behind Man City, will need to spend big this summer. Signing Fekir could be a fantastic start. 6. Christian Eriksen. In the 5 years since his arrival in North London, Christian Eriksen has scored 41 goals and provided 48 assists. That works out to be a goal involvement every 0.5 games, higher than Gerrard's 0.4 and Lampard's 0.45. But yet his trophyless cabinet means the 77-cap Dane is still criminally underrated. With the Lily Whites transfer policy likely to be further hindered by their move to a new stadium, it's very unlikely that Pochettino's side will not be challenging for the Premier League in the next 4 years. Where would Eriksen realistically go though? Well, we think he would be a perfect long-term replacement for David Silva. The 119-capped Spaniard has arguably had his greatest City season yet, with 20 goal involvements in 29 league games, helping his side romp to his third Premier League title. But at 32, he isn't getting any younger, and the Dane, who has 19 goal involvements this season, has missed just 194 Premier League minutes, and could be tempted by the promise of riches and trophies. 5. Mauro Accardi. 25-year-old Inter Milan forward Mauro Accardi is the ultimate penalty box predator. Not only have all his 26 Serie A goals come from inside the area, but he makes as little as 14 passes per 90. But the Nerazzurri captain, who has scored over 25 goals for the third time in 4 seasons, is incredibly clinical, taking only 3.1 shots per 90, but gets 63% of them on target, more than Kane, Lewandowski and Giovani. Although they have reached 4 Champions League finals in 5 years, with Benzema 30 and Bale injury prone, Real Madrid need another addition to complement the evergreen Cristiano Ronaldo. But whilst Lewandowski and Kane are the names frequently touted, at 29 years old, the poll wouldn't be a long-term fix, and Transfermarkt value Accardi at £40 million cheaper than the Spurs talisman. Despite taking 3.1 more shots per game than Barcelona, Los Blancos have scored 6 fewer goals, and are 15 points behind. Who's better to provide the much-needed firepower than Accardi, whose release clause sits at €110 million? 4. Hirving Lozano. In his 4 seasons at Atletico Madrid, 27-year-old Antoine Griezmann has become a fan favourite, scoring 31% of their league goals and leading Los Rojiblancos to a Champions League and Europa League final. But it now seems inevitable that the 51-capped Frenchman, who finished 3rd in the 2016 Ballon d'Or, will leave for Barcelona. Atleti's tradition contains numerous examples of signing young, unheralded strikers from lesser leagues and converting them into global stars, and next up should be Hirving Lozano. The 22-year-old PSV forward only arrived from Pachuca in June 2017, but he has taken the Eredivisie by storm, as the Farmers won their 3rd title in 4 years. Lozano is capable of playing through the middle, but is better cutting in from the left, on his deadly right foot, which has yielded 16 goals and 8 assists in 27 league games. With the World Cup only set to increase the Mexicans' transfermarkt value of £20 million, Simeone should look to get this one done early. 3. Jonathan Tarr. Dortmund have had a shocking season, sealing the fate of 2 managers. They have issues at both ends, having scored only 64 goals, their 2nd lowest tally in 6 years, and they let in 47, the 11th worst in the Bundesliga. They have also conceded 3 goals or more in 18% of their league games. One man ready to help them is 22-year-old Bayer Leverkusen centre-back Jonathan Tarr. Despite battling numerous injuries, he has still made 27 appearances as Leverkusen finished 5th, qualifying for the Europa League. As you would expect from a 6'4" centre-back, Tarr is very good in the air, winning 62% of his aerial duels, but he is equally adept with the ball at his feet, with an 86% pass accuracy, the same as Jan Vertonghen. Dortmund don't have the resources of a Bayern Munich, so they have to sign young, talented players with a high sell-on value. The 9 players they have brought in over the last 2 windows have an average age of just over 22, and Tarr, already capped 3 times by Germany, would fit that bill perfectly. 2. Toni Kroos. World Cup winner Toni Kroos is an absolute legend of the game, with 4 league titles to his name along with 3 Champions Leagues. The 82-capped German has made at least 40 appearances for Real Madrid in 4 consecutive seasons, and helped Los Blancos to 3 consecutive Champions League finals. There is very little chance that the 28-year-old could be priced away from the Bernabeu. But if he could be, he's exactly the sort of player Manchester United need. On paper, the Red Devils are improving, having won more games, scored more and conceded fewer than in any year since Sir Alex's retirement. But not only have they lost to the likes of Huddersfield, Newcastle, West Brom and Brighton, they've only scored 3 or more goals in 10 of their league games, compared to 18 in 2012-13. Not only does Kroos make 79 passes per 90, with 66% of them going forward, but his incredible passing range creates 2.6 chances per game, only 0.5 fewer than Herrera, Matic and Pogba combined. United will be expected to challenge domestically, but improve in Europe, having only reached the quarter-finals in 1 of the last 7 seasons. And who better to help them than the man who has been to 7 consecutive semi-finals? 1. Jan Oblak. Pepe Reina was at Liverpool between 2005 and 2013, and conceded on average 33.6 league goals a season. Never adequately replaced, that figure has risen to 45.6 in the 5 seasons since. And although Karius's improved performances in the back half of 17-18 has seen Liverpool reach a Champions League final, a world-class keeper takes teams to new levels. Just ask Man City. So with that in mind, rather than spending £70 million on Fekir, they should go all out to sign Atletico Madrid's Jan Oblak. The 25-year-old Slovenian has been a regular in Madrid for 3 seasons, in which Los Rojiblancos have conceded just 65 league goals, 30 fewer than Barcelona and 52 fewer than Real Madrid. This works out at just 0.6 goals per game, which is incredible. Oblak is an amazing shot stopper, making 4.6 saves per goal, putting Karius's 1.9 and even De Gea's 4 into perspective. If you don't get it, he could save your parents' marriage. Although not solely down to him, the addition of Eriksen has enabled City to concede 12 fewer league goals than last season. If Liverpool got the same impact next season with Oblak, they would have conceded 1 fewer goal than the Citizens this campaign, and potentially be challenging for the title. This is certainly worth his £88 million release clause.
So I hope you guys liked that video. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed that, why not check out the video on screen right now? I'm sure it is great. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.